Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Wellness Warriors transformation story time and really meeting the community. This is just a really special opportunity to come together with like-minded friends who were on a mission to end human suffering. And for me, myself, I've been with Purium. I've been around it for like 8 years now. And it's something really special for me because I've been on a journey to really help my health be well. Since I was a child, I was allergic to so many things, wheat, sugar, dairy, all of it. I've been on this mission to find some of the cleanest food on the planet, gut issues forever, and then choosing to be plant-based at 9 years old. And so I've always been looking for a source of protein that would really be like of the highest quality and be able to not have to consume animal products in order to live a really strong life. At 46, I'll be 47 in January, and I just feel like I get to have the best life ever. And because of this lifestyle that I've chosen to live, I've called in some of the most amazing people on this planet. I have regenerative health practitioners on this team. My dear friend Yarrow Dankert, she is like the most amazing, amazing goddess. And now she has her daughter joining our team and being incredible. We have Tammy Trissel on the line. She's another person that has joined this team, and I've watched her really come into homeostasis from almost being on her deathbed with 30 medications and like being able to bring herself out of Crohn's. We have like story after story, and this is what we do every single Wednesday. We come together in this beautiful community, and today we have Rachel Balunsat. She and I met about 8 years ago, I'd say maybe 7, and her and I have been united with this organic, regeneratively grown superfood company that delivers these live dehydrated plant blessings to our doorstep in home compostable packaging. And her and I are so madly in love. We are not even on the same team or anything like that, but this woman has gone through some of the deepest transformation. You're going to hear it tonight, but she is an honor. It's just an honor to have her here. She's a 2-star crown in the company. She has worked her heart open to the point where she has called in some of the most incredible people on her team as well. She's also a regenerative health practitioner. She is solid gold. So before any time goes by anymore, I'm going to hand the mic over to you, Rachel, and please just share all your truth, all your wisdom, and really you're fully held in this space. We know this is the container where everyone that's listening is going to be fully activated and really understand that this is an invitation to step into the greatest version of yourself as we all have. And so take it away, Miss Rachel. Thank you.
Aw, thank you so much. I love you. And we aren't on the same team, and yet we are on the same team, right? We're all on the same team. There is one team. There is Team United. There is Team United Front to change the world, to empower people in health, to empower the earth, to empower all beings. That's what we're here to do. That's the mission of ourselves. That is the mission that this company we've aligned with. That's why we are aligned with them, because they have everyone's heart and soul and bodies as their highest priority. And so I'm just so honored actually to be here. And I'm so honored you invited me. I just love you so much, Kimberly. Isn't she a queen? Isn't she just like, she's like winged, an angel. And, you know, all of you guys together with Kimberly at the helm have empowered so many people to transform their life, thousands and thousands of people. To collectively, you have impacted their lives, helped people transform their health, help people eat better diets, help people eat clean and lean, and actually change their energy. Just imagine for a second. Just imagine for a second. I've never done this work. I want you to think about all of the lives, the thousands of lives that you have touched. Okay, and imagine if they had never found this nutrition. The stuck place you would have been in if you had never found it. The stuck place that all these people would have been in if they hadn't found it. How many mothers do you know who could not even tend their children because they were too exhausted? And that might have been you. And if it was you, go ahead and share in the comments. How many mothers were like, I'm sorry, honey, I'm too tired to play. I don't have energy to play with you right now. I don't have energy to do anything with you right now. And then how many fathers? I'm sorry, sweetheart, I don't have any energy to play right now. I am exhausted. I have brain fog. I'm tired. I don't have my best self forward. And then, sorry, parents, I'm struggling and I can't even take care of you in your old age because I can barely take care of me. Like, how many of you are at that age where now parents are starting to fail and you're like, how can I help my parents? I want you to think about all those people whose lives they wouldn't have touched, all those people who would still be suffering around them because maybe you didn't take the torch yourself and start with your own nutrition and start with transforming your own health. And same in my line, I've had 15,000 people have their lives touched. I couldn't have done that by myself. It's through our team that we've touched all those lives. So just take a moment and think about what all the ripple out of those thousands of people, where they would still be, where this planet would be without Dave Sandoval, without this company, without this nutrition. Where would all those hundreds of thousands of people be? What would be the frequency on this earth without all those lives changed? It's been such an impact. And I just really, after coming back from convention, like that's what I want to relay to you is the impact. And I'm going to share with you the impact on my own life and why I've been able to help this many people is just by sharing my story, because it's through our stories that we touch lives. And so I always have to like warm myself up for the story because it like moves me in a lot of ways and it's vulnerable. But I always try to, I notice that I always try to get through it really quick. And, but Kimberly always like invites this energy of just like, be real, be transparent, be vulnerable, let it all show. So already cried. Just because I'm so grateful. I'm just so grateful. Oh, and I see Michelle from my team there and she's tearing up. And she went from wheelchair to no chair. She's standing. And so that's why she's moved, because her whole life is like completely transformed. And so you can just share in the chat anything you want. I love, you're such a sweetheart. So I, almost 10 years ago, I had been struggling already for 9 years with Hashimoto's, autoimmune disorder of the thyroid. And I was at a place where my mom had just died. My partner broke up with me, the one that I thought I was going to marry. And I was just like at a complete loss. My mom died suddenly. It was unexpected. It was a tragic accident. And I was already sick and I could barely make ends meet. I was a wedding photographer and I could no longer work anymore. I was at that point where I was like, okay, I'm going to be on government aid. I didn't even imagine government aid. I was just like, I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to be in my car. I might live on the streets, but there's no way. I had no motivation or no energy to work anymore. I was completely unable. And I would work like 1 day a month just to try to like get something to eat. And I got to this point in my life where I made a decision, and it started with like, you know what? I can get well. I don't know where that thought came from, but that was the single thought that kept a light at the end of the tunnel. And I just said, I have no idea how, but I will get there. I will get well. I'm going to find it this year. It was like New Year's Eve. And I said, I'm going to find it this year. This is going to be it. I'm going to find it this year. I have no idea. I don't know what my knight in shining armor is going to look like that's going to save me. I had no idea it was green. I had no idea he or she was going to be green liquid. But I was also looking for, I was also like, well, how can I also get smart with money? How can I also like earn an income without traveling the world as a wedding photographer? Like, I just want to be on my couch right now. And eventually in my car. I did end up living in my car. Well, someone tagged me on Facebook and I saw this amazing woman just like looking like she was on top of the world, on a cliff, and telling her story of how she'd done some cleanse and she was feeling so much better. And I was just like, oh, I want to feel like she looks. I want to be like on top of a mountain with a silk shawl in the wind. And I was like, that was the light. That was the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm like, there it is. So I made a decision, right? I just made that decision. I said, this is going to happen. And that decision. When you make a decision like that is when when you really believe in that decision, you really believe there's a possibility, that's when it arrives. That's when you start to like literally gravitate that towards you. You start to magnetize it towards you. You start to like, you know, if there's really such a thing as manifestation, that's where it comes from. It comes from the belief and turning it over. Like, okay, let go and let God. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but just show me the way, right? Whatever you believe in, higher self, whatever. So all of a sudden, this transformation, this cleanse, this detox, this lifestyle, and I really want to emphasize lifestyle because it's not like a one and done. 10 days, I'm cleansed, and now I'm like back to normal. Like I was not even thinking this would be a solution to anything. I actually didn't actually believe that this was going to help me feel better. I just thought this is a good thing to do. Like it's good to cleanse. Like we all know that. But literally 2 weeks in, 10 days in, I already noticed a difference. I had dropped 10 pounds. I'd been like overweight and struggling with my weight as well. That was not why I did this. I wasn't looking for that. That was just a benefit. But 10 days in, I lost 10 pounds. And I was like, whoa. And then 3 days in, I actually noticed I had energy. I'm like, I have energy. I have energy. I've had energy all day. I was like, that's crazy. Like, wow, I haven't had any naps. And then I noticed that by day 7, my brain fog was gone. I'm like, wow, I can actually remember people's names. Oh, I can remember what I did 5 minutes ago. I can remember this day. Oh, I can remember like what that person said to me. All of a sudden I was like thinking and I was clear and I was able to have a conversation and track people. I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing. Okay, I can track people. And somebody just noticed that I was glowing and just said, wow, you're just really radiating. What happened? What are you doing? And I was like, I don't know. I just like did this cleanse thing and I'm feeling really good. But I'm, in my mind, I thought it'll be over. Like it'll be over as soon as this whole transformation's over, it's gonna be over. But long story short is I stuck with it. I stayed on the maintenance. I continued with the lifestyle. It's called the ultimate lifestyle transformation because it is a lifestyle. I am now like into this lifestyle. And so after it was over, guess what? I still had amazing energy. I was going to the gym all the time. I suddenly just wanted to run. I wanted to climb hills. I wanted to climb mountains. I started working out all the time. I was like, this is amazing. All I want to do is work out now. And I would wake up at 7 in the morning before, and I would like just think about my mom and cry. But all of a sudden I would wake up in the morning and go like, I need to run. I need to move. And I started going to the gym and pretty soon, and by the way, I started sharing this with all my friends. Okay. So I started going to the gym. All of a sudden, I doubled my running speed. If anyone's a runner here, I went from 4.9 miles an hour to 6.9 miles an hour. And eventually I got to 8.1 miles an hour. Hello, Olympics. Okay. I was like, I'm ready. I'm an Olympic runner now. I'm like, I don't even know if the treadmill can keep up with me, like going so fast. I had this big smile on my face. I look on the monitor and I'm like, I'm smiling. I haven't seen that smile in years. Like, there's Rachel. There's my old friend, me. I started to recognize myself again. I literally said to myself, what's in these superfoods? Are there steroids in here? Like, is this steroids? And I really didn't know why it was working so well. But then I went on and I decided to study with the founder of the company. He has a school. And so I went to the David Sandoval Academy of Learning to learn why I was feeling so good. So I was going to the school, but meanwhile, I was accelerating in my physique was shifting like drastically. I couldn't believe how fast I was watching my physique shift. And then somebody invited me to compete. I was like, compete in what? Bodybuilding show. Like, what? That's crazy. Okay, I'll go. I'll just go with these ladies and I'll just like be on stage with them and I'll just like look at them and be like, yay, cheer them on. Well, I went to this show and by then my father had died. So my mother had died and my father had died. My boyfriend had left me. And then I got the call that my roommate had committed suicide. So here I was, and the only thing that I had to look forward to was working out and this competition up ahead. It was like keeping me alive and keeping me sane. And not only that, but sharing this with other people. Meanwhile, I was sharing this with all my friends. I was starting to watch my friends totally transform. They were like losing weight. They were like getting out of pain. They were starting to climb mountains with me. We were starting to go on hikes together. All these people who've been struggling because we were all like in our 40s, and 40s is kind of like when a lot of that stuff hits 30s and 40s. It's like, why are we just getting sick? Everyone says, oh, I'm just getting older. Like how many people have ever thought that in your life when you start to have problems, you're like, it's just age, right? And we accept it. We're like, oh, it's just like normal, like I'm going to keep declining. We have this really deep myth that's embedding itself in our society now that now that illness is on the rise. People just think this is the norm, that like aging means getting sick, and that getting sick just means aging. And I'm here to break that myth because it is not aging. It is accumulating toxins over time. That's all it is. It's a different equation. I wish I need to come up with some kind of equation. Aging equals A equals accumulation over time, A over T. Okay, that's my E equals MC squared. Hope I become famous for that. Just kidding. That's all it is. And so as I'm like gaining myself and feeling myself all through the like end of my 40s, and now I'm 50, I'm almost 52. I'm like, wow, I still feel good. 10 years later, I have no more Hashimoto's. They tell you that, oh, you can't get rid of it. It goes into remission. Literally, my blood work is normal. I'm no longer anemic, and now I eat all plant-based, and I'm not even anemic anymore. I'm like, wow, what the heck is going on? Like, that's amazing. You don't have to eat plant-based. I don't want to scare anybody and make you think you have to do anything, but I just chose that route because that was what was working for me. And so I went on to the stage, and who can guess? I was like waiting for the countdown. 5th place, Alicia. 4th place, so and so. 3rd place, and I'm like, okay, well, you know. And then all of a sudden, 2nd place, and then 1st place, Rachel Balunsat, and I'm just like, what? What the heck? Me? Are you kidding me? It was the 40 and over. I won the 40 and over competition. I'm like, okay, awesome. That's so great. Wow. I was like 44 at the time. I did another competition later that day, 20 and over. Same thing, call all these names, and number 1, Rachel Balunsat. And I was just like, you can't be kidding. I was in such shock. I couldn't even go out on the stage. I was just sitting there like I don't even know what to do. There were so many women who competed in that competition. And my coach like pushed me out there. She's like, go get your medal, like just walk out there and do a little spin or something. And I'm just like, oh my God. And I took these medals, and I just looked up to God, and I was like, I remembered that light at the end of the tunnel. I was like, this is it. This is the golden light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I have literally come to the light. And I kissed my medals, both of them, because I was still wearing the one from earlier that day. And I kissed them both, and I just like handed it to God. And I was like, thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. I knew, I'm like, these medals were for them. This was me creating, instead of becoming miserable in their deaths, I let this be my fuel to make a better life for myself, because that's what they would have wanted, was for me to excel, achieve, and continue a life of light. And so in their honor, I kissed these medals. I ended up on the cover of Bikini magazine, and I wrote a 5-page article, or they interviewed me and had a 5-page article where I shared the superfoods in my journey and like how this had basically saved my life. And then, thank you. Oh, thanks all you guys. I love you all. I love this group. You guys are great. And then some more cool things happen. Well, I went to the Philippines and Bali because it was finally time for me to grieve. It was finally time for me to like go grieve the loss of my family and my parents. I'd won this big award, and now it was like, okay, now I'm coming down the other side. Like, whew. And I decided to take 2 months off from this business. And I went and visited for the first time my family in the Philippines. I met my sister and my brother. And my sister had never smiled on Facebook. I would see pictures of her and she never smiled. I thought, wow, she must be so unhappy. This poor lady. You know, I'd never met her. But I went and I visited her, and she smiled all the time, and she had no teeth. That was why she never smiled in any of her pictures. She was actually the happiest, most jovial, sweetest, wonderful love. And I sat with her and I said, would you like me to buy you some teeth? Do you want some teeth? And she was like, oh no, sister, too much. And I was like, no, sister, trust me. Like I've been sharing this amazing superfoods with people, and it's like basically been paying for everything, and I'm gonna buy you teeth with that. And she was like, okay, really? She got teeth, and she said, whoa, I know. She said, I can smile now, and I can get a job because I can smile now. I couldn't believe it. My own family was malnourished and struggling with their health to the point that they lost their teeth. My brother lost his teeth. Thank you for those hearts. They lost their teeth from malnutrition, and now I was giving them teeth and they felt empowered again and they could start over. And then I even like got them businesses. She always wanted a nail salon. I bought her all the things for the nail salon. My brother was like, you know, wanted a bunch of things for he wanted to buy a thing so we could have a kitchen, like a restaurant in the lower part of his house. You know, things are different, rules are different over there. You can do stuff like that. So he started a kitchen, he started a restaurant in the lower part of his house and just needed equipment. I was able, the income that came from my team sharing this, from all of us, from all of everyone learning to be health coaches and helping the world, suddenly I was able to share with my family and empower them. It was such an amazing moment. That light at the end of the tunnel, it was so bright. It was like literally beaming love into my heart and to my family and to my friends and to the world and to you guys. Like, this has changed my life. I can't even think of anything more special than what Dave and Amy stand for and the nutrition that they're sharing with this world, and how it is literally changing people's life, their way of life, what you can do with your life when you have energy, when you have sleep. I was finally able to sleep. I was finally able to sleep through the night. I'd never been able to sleep through the night for years. I lost my period in all that grief and angst. I lost my period. I went through early menopause. And then within a few months, my period came back. I had a healthy period all the way up until now in my 50s. So everything changed. My whole reproductive life changed. My libido went through the roof. All kinds of things, all kinds of wonderful things happen. And one of the things that really sticks with me is something that Dave Sandoval says. You know, he said, it's what the thing that makes me sad when I go to barbecues and my friends' houses is I look at how they're eating and I think, gosh, I'm going to live a long life. I'm going to be alone because all my friends are not going to be with me. And I think about that all the time. And I'm just like, I want to bring my friends with me. I want to grow old with my friends. I don't want them dropping off in my 50s or my 60s or my 70s. I know with this nutrition, I plan to live to 120. Literally, I feel like I can. I really do. I feel like I have reversed age, and now I am just like, I'm only beginning. I used to think I was going to be done in my 70s, and I really didn't even think I was going to live past my 60s with that. I was going to be in my car and homeless. And now I can see so much further into the future, and I can see living a great life. And my spiritual teacher once said, you know what's a shame about people dying early is they've gained all this wisdom from their life, and they stop and they can no longer help people, and they get sick, and then they die prematurely. And then who have they harmed? All the people they didn't help. So live long, you guys. Live long and prosper. Live long and prosper, okay? This is our new sign. Everyone do this. Let's take a picture. Live long and prosper. Kimberly's gonna take a picture. Live long and prosper. It started here on the Zoom. Yay! Screenshot, screenshot. We're gonna live long and prosper, guys. This is it. This is the new sign, right? All right. I love you guys so much. Live long and prosper, and help other people live long and prosper. That's all I got to say, is just help people, help your family. And don't worry if you can't, because it's hard. Family are sometimes the hardest people to get through to, because they have a hard time like believing that, oh, little Rachel, she knows something. Like, oh, is she really a doctor? I don't really believe that she can help us. And or they're just scared. They're just like, people are afraid to make a change. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't give up the things I love. I'd rather eat. I'd rather just eat and get sick and die. You know, dig my grave with my forks. A lot of people think that. But just remember this. It's not about what you take out. It's about what you add in. If you just add this nutrition in, cravings go away, right? Who's experienced that? Drop a 5 if you're like, cravings have gone away. Yeah, waving. Cravings go away because when you add in the good nutrition, your taste buds change. Your taste buds literally change, and you start craving alkaline foods. And that's why this becomes a lifestyle transformation, because you literally start feeling different. You start tasting different. And then then you start craving all these alkaline foods. All of a sudden you're like no longer craving that bag of chips or those cookies. Suddenly you're like, can somebody just get me some carrot sticks? Hey, honey, when you go to the store, will you bring me back a whole thing of celery and cucumbers? And you're just like, I can't believe this is what I want now. This is literally what I crave now. I just want fresh food all day long. And I just eat apples in my car all day long. I literally take bell peppers and I eat them like apples. I eat vegetables like I just bring me a bag of food. And if you're a lazy cook like me, I don't even need anything. I don't even need to cook that much anymore. I like to paint, right? You can make, there's still all kinds of amazing healthy recipes that can go along with this because you get to eat on this transformation. But literally, like, if you want to save time, this is easy. And let me tell you, this is the cheapest fast food, healthy fast food in the world. I lived in my car and this brought me back to health for only $2.50 a meal. Okay. Like that is homeless food. All right. So don't let anyone ever tell you like this is unaffordable. This is literally your groceries and it's going to save you money. I literally save like around $300 to $400 a month when I do this stuff. This is a no-brainer. It's going to save the world of, you know, this is your savings. This is your financial plan. This is your economic transformation. This is your health transformation. This is saving the planet because we are literally like, I mean, Kimberly tells it best, but like the way we impact the planet with superfoods, I mean, this stuff means less truck drives, no refrigeration required. Food is ripened till perfection on the vine before it's harvested and created into these amazing superfoods. They're juiced and dried right there on the spot, right there on the land, literally only, you know, within 2 hours of it being harvested. And so it's harvested at peak perfection rather than like all the things that you get in the grocery store. Usually they're green. They're green bananas. They get to the shelf, they're green. They didn't even get to ripen on the tree. So they're missing all those nutrients that were ripened on the tree. This was ripened before it was harvested. And so that's why this nutrition is so incredible, so beneficial. This is why it helps us so much. This is why this nutrition literally is mind-boggling. You're like, why do I feel so good? Because you're getting all the nutrients from the soil. You're getting an amazing nutrients from the soil where things have been harvested and they're even rotating. They rotate the crops. We've got healthy soil. Sorry, I'm like going on and on and on, Kimberly. They're rotating the crops. Thank you. They're like rotating the crops so you get all those nutrients from those new plants. They put compost on the soil after every harvest. You're always replenishing the soil because you aren't what you eat. You're what your food eats. You are what you eat too because you're eating what your food eats, but you are what your food eats. And so if your food is not grown in healthy soil, if it's just sort of depleted but it's organic, it's not really enough. So we're in a new world, we're in a new age, and literally what we're doing is also the food that you're eating from this nutrition is also restoring the planet. It is also restoring the land. It is also replenishing the soil. This is regenerative agriculture. This is the most amazing thing you'll ever come across. It's the most amazing thing I've ever come across. And I'm so honored and grateful to be a part of it and to be part of this mission. And I just thank you so much for all of you for letting me be here today, letting me speak and share my story. And Kimberly, I love you so much. Thank you so much, so much, so much.
Wow, thank you so much. And I just feel so honored that I've gotten to hear your story through the years so many times. And it's why we come together like this, because I've heard little other pieces, like little pieces of gold. And so we have these calls, and then the friends that are just coming here, it's like at some point down the road, it might be you coming in and sharing your story like this, and you get to have friends being inspired, and you get to be like, I used to be here. I used to think that this was healthy. I used to think that this was the energy that I could have. And now I'm here. And there's so many people that I've connected with where it's like, I already eat clean. I already have a shake. I already do whatever. And if there's just this little bit of like surrender and willingness and that knowingness inside you where you're just like, maybe it's something I've never done before, and maybe it's something I could try, and maybe it's something that I want to bring other people in. So like Rachel said, it's like we're not the only ones in our family that's getting healthy, and literally this food is for superheroes. So I understand when people can't stick with it. This is something that I've been doing for decades with my life, but the people that stay with it, they become what we call brand partners, because we're living this lifestyle so eloquently and so deeply and so much devotion that then they become this brand partner that's sharing their example, and they're leading by example, and we get to bring more and more people in and watch them become the greatest versions of themselves. So normally we go over and I share a screen of like each individual product, but I do want to honor everyone's time. We always say that this is a 30-minute call. And so get back to the person that shared this video with you. Rachel, is there anything you want to just say one more last little piece of anything to share?
I just feel so happy. I'm just elated, and I just, please join and share with as many people. We need more people. We need more people to be sharing this. That's the only way it gets out into the world, is through word of mouth. And so if you decide to join the team, you are on the most amazing team ever. These people are here to really, truly support and uplift the world. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to stop the recording, and thank you to Facebook, and whoever sent you this, get back to them. They have $100 gift certificate for you. So let them join them and be with us. So thank you.